let's relax a little bit. They gave us some great display, from the thunderous roar of the guided missile destroyers. Never saw anything like it. To the spectacular sight of nuclear submarines all over the place, to the unstoppable force of another great American aircraft carrier. One thing was clear, that no enemy will ever even dream of threatening America's Navy. There's no Navy even close. Not even close. You hear about some of them doing ships, but nobody can do what we do. Nobody has what we have. And we also have the best equipment that rides along in those ships. You see that? Nobody makes equipment like we do. Nobody makes the ammunition, the weapons, the missiles, the planes. None of it. And if they do, the American sailor stands ready to crush them and sink them and wreck them and blast them into oblivion. Right. We have to. And that's a terrible statement for me to make. That's the end of it. Because everybody said that I should immediately get the Nobel Peace Award with that statement. That takes me out of the running. But that's the way it is. United States is blessed with the strongest and most powerful military in the history of the world. There's no military like our military, not even close. Nobody has our weapons, and it'll be stronger and more powerful than ever before very soon. You know, we just approved the biggest budget in the history. Over $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion. We have the best ships, the best aeroplanes, the best submarines, the best technology. But above all, we have America's military. It's the best people. It's all about the people. Ultimately, you have to work all of that fancy stuff that we make better than anybody else. The fact is, we do make the best weapons, but if you don't have the right people to operate those weapons, they don't mean much. Despite that, as Commander-in-Chief, I never forget that our ultimate strength does not come from equipment. It comes from the men and women of the rank and file. That's true. It comes from you people, incredible people, good-looking people, too many good-looking people. I don't like good-looking people. I never liked good-looking people. I'll be honest with you, I've never admitted that before. But see, I'm allowed to. You see, we wanted the Supreme Court to think based on merit. You know about that, right? Merit. Everything now in our country is based on merit, and that's why I look at you and I see nothing but merit. It's great to have a country back where we can go by merit now. We don't go by anything else except for talent and work and hard work, and it's such a big win. That was such one of the most important wins, and the will, patriotism, and spirit in your hearts is our single greatest weapon. The strength that you have is unbelievable. That's why, as we make a record investment in our military, we've never spent so much, and we've never spent it more wisely, because now we watch it, we spend it properly. I'm also supporting an across-the-board pay raise for every sailor and service member in the United States Armed Forces. Now, if you don't want it, you want to give back to your country, just let us know. We won't give it to you. Is there anybody in that category? But now, all we really have to do is get the Democrats to approve it. But they'll come along. They always do. They always do. And because I heard that the sailors on the George Washington took a hit to your family separation pay, you know what I'm talking about, right? You took a little hit to be here, right? By returning to the port, you returned early for this event. I am delighted to announce that as your sort of boss, I don't feel like your boss, but I guess I am. At least you'll be happy about this one. At my direction, we're going to make sure that you receive the full amount that you were owed for the deployment. And we're not going to deduct anything because you came in to listen to your commander. I'd like to be an admiral. I always wanted to be an admiral, to be honest. Don't tell the other people that I love so much. They sit around table. They have all those beautiful stars and stripes. But I'll tell you what I love. I always love the admirals. I love those uniforms. And I look at these guys. I don't think I would have done very well if I had to compete with these people. They're too good. But I always felt that the Navy is a very special group of people. And I see it when I see you. I see it. Over the past 11 months, the spirit of our military has been soaring like never before. You know that the spirit of our country has been soaring. After years of recruiting shortages, and we had bad ones, it was embarrassing, frankly, during my campaign before the election November 5th. After that, it all changed. After we won, it all changed. And now we have waiting lists with record numbers trying to join the US Navy and all of the armed forces. We have literal waiting lists. And I'm pleased to report that 2025 was the Navy's single best recruiting year in many generations. That's pretty good, isn't it? But think of it. It seems like I've been up here so long, and it seems like I've been doing this for a long time, and I have. We had a great first term, but are nothing like what's happening now. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. I rebuilt the military in the first term, and then they gave a lot of it away to Afghanistan, but it was really just a tiny speck. But it was the concept of what it was. But we rebuilt the military, and we did so many things in the first term, but we're blowing it away right now. But think of it. Just 1 year ago, I was in the middle of a campaign. Can you believe that? It doesn't feel that way. I said, you're right. It's not November 5th yet. We have another week or so to go. I was campaigning 1 year ago, and look at all the things that we've done since this unbelievable day, November 5th. That's when it all changed. When we won on November 5th, it all changed. We went from a country that wasn't respected and a lot of people that had no spirit. That includes joining the police, the fire departments. They didn't want to join. After that, they started joining, and it seems like 10 years ago, not less than a year. Think of it. Less than a year ago, I was campaigning. We won the second election by a lot, so we had to just prove it by winning the third. Too big to rig. I called it. It was too big to rig, and it was an amazing victory. And thank goodness we won, because we were in big trouble. We were in big, big trouble. But the new recruits, every sailor aboard this ship has answered a sacred call of duty to cross any ocean, fight any battle, and defend America and its allies with unwavering resolve. As you know, the George Washington is the only aircraft carrier on Earth that is permanently stationed overseas. It's permanent. Now, if you'd like to take a trip back to America, help. Let's do it one time. Well, I'll join you. I'd love to join you. When I landed on this, it doesn't feel like a ship. It's solid. This is a solid piece of stuff. These 4.5 acres of power and steel are the front line of American freedom in the Pacific. Every day you're taking risk to keep our country safe and to defend peace and security in this incredible part of the world, working with Japan, working with other nations. I just left Malaysia. We stopped a big war with, you know that. We stopped 8 wars. Can you imagine? In 8 months I stopped 8 wars, like I stopped a war a month. Think of that. That's pretty good. But I just left Malaysia. Thank them, because they helped us very much with one of them, and actually, for even a second. They're great people, and they send their regards. I spent a day there with the Prime Minister, and we had a good time. But you carry out your mission bravely. You carry it out brilliantly, and on behalf of all Americans, I just want to say, and I came over to say it loud and clear, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Incredible people. You are incredible people. They actually have the best location, because if they're really good looking, they end up in Hollywood. You're not going to end. You have a great look, but you're not going to end in Hollywood. They can just see the back of your head, all the media. Look at all the fake news back there. But 2 years ago, Naval Air Crewman 3rd Class James McCall was just a few months into his first fleet tour with the Golden Falcons helicopter squadron when he and his crew were called on a search and rescue mission to find 3 missing Navy divers. Incredible, brave geezer divers. But they were stranded at sea and right off the Japanese coast. They were exhausted and assuming they were going to die. They assumed they were going to die. But with unbelievable focus and skill, crewman McCall was able to find and help rescue all 3 divers in the water below, saving his fellow sailors. You know what I'm talking about, right? Very aggressive, but I think they're great. We also have a real geniuses and these people are incredible, who maintain the largest and most complex machine ever built. Our amazing mechanics and engineers on the and I asked you, Captain, you know I'm building aircraft. I'm building a lot of things. But I said, Captain, you got to tell me something. I know a lot about these ships. I know a lot about these things. Building. I want to know. Catapults. Which is better, the electric or the steam? Okay, ready? Are you guys? That's what you do, right? This is so much better. You know, they go out, hire a consultant for millions of dollars that was never on an aircraft carrier before, so they switch to electric. I disagree with it, but that's all right. Let me ask you. We're going to go steam first and then electric. Catapults. Which is better, electric or steam? I'm going to put in an order. Seriously, they're spending billions of dollars to build stupid electric. And the problem when it breaks, you have to send up to MIT, get the most brilliant people in the world, fly them out. It's ridiculous. The steam, they say they can fix it with a hammer and a blowtorch, and it works just as well, if not better. And I love the sight of that beautiful steam pouring off that deck. With the electric, you don't have that. So, you know, we did the Ford and electric, the cost overruns, everything else. But you know, I hope it's going to be okay. But I like steam. We're going to go back to steam. They changed this for the sake of changing. I said to the architect, have you ever designed a ship before? You know, he only did the biggest ship in the world, right? The Ford. But, we're going to go back. Okay, now, let me ask you the second question. Hydraulic for your elevators or magnets. You know, the new thing is magnets. So instead of using hydraulic that you can be hit by lightning and it's fine, you take a little glass of water and you drop it on magnets. I don't know what's going to happen. So, you know, the elevators come up in the new carriers. I think I'm going to change it. By the way, they have magnets. Not every tractor has hydraulic. Every excavator, every excavating machine of any kind has hydraulic. But somebody decided to use magnets. But maybe they're good. Which is better, hydraulic or magnets? What the hell is wrong with these people? Can I ask you, the top-ranking gentleman right here, and seriously, I'm putting out an order. I'm going to sign an executive order. When we build aircraft carriers, it's steam for the catapults and it's hydraulic for the elevators. We'll never have a problem. Okay, do you agree? He agrees. Everybody agrees. But oh, these people in Washington. All right, we're going to do that. I'm serious about it. It bothered me so much. I'd see the costs come in. They spend $900. This is not on my watch. So, you know, if it was on my watch, I would be very quiet about it. I wouldn't be talking about it. They spent $993 million on the catapults, trying to get them to work. And they had steam, which works so beautifully, and it has for 50 years. Right, so we're going to go back. Seriously, fellas, I want to make that change. I'm going to do an executive order. I'm not going to let them continue to do this. They're trying to make it work. They're trying so hard, and they have something that's perfect. So, we're going to go back on that and the magnets. Thank you very much.